The purpose of the public engagement component is to engage the people of Brantford in a manner that provides valuable input into the evaluation of the status quo and the development of alternative approaches. Throughout the process, residents will also gain knowledge on the study, context, background information on topics alongside of key factors that are being considered in the review. On this site, including this video series, along with the background document and presentation, it is in place to help you ask questions, share your perspective and comments, and gather information. In essence, really learn enough about this project to be able to provide your insight and comments and responses to the survey that is informed. All public input will ultimately be gathered and feed into the development of the report that will go to Council in March for their consideration as part of this first project phase. Your wisdom and insight here at this stage of the larger project ultimately informs thinking around development of the ward boundary options for phase 2, and there will be another round of consultation as part of that phase later this year. So this phase is more of an education phase. It's in place to help build knowledge on the context and background, and to have you residents be as involved and engaged as possible, with your voice as part of the process and engaged in a conversation that is shaping the future democracy of the City of Brantford. The consultation period for phase 1 runs from January the 13th to January the 31st, 2021. As in-person engagement methods are no longer possible due to physical distancing measures, and to ensure the public safety during the current COVID-19 province-wide shutdown, the first phase of public consultation opportunities are being provided through a series of educational online tools at LetsTalkBrantford.ca. Residents can engage by calling the city, through email, or direct mail to the clerk, someone in the project, to share their ideas, comments, or have assistance in having their questions and survey responses included on the platform and report summary. The contact details are at the end of this video and are on the city website. The public engagement and involvement activities have been planned to be consistent with principles outlined in Brantford's community involvement framework. That is, all are based on an inclusive, open process in which no specific outcome is predetermined. The review's public engagement has been designed to bring clarity to the role of residents and where they participate in the process, reflect diverse community interests and values by giving attention to demographic factors such as gender, ethnicity, age, ability, socioeconomic status, and place of residence. Provide factual and reliable information that informs and educates residents of Brantford to understand the what, the why, and the impact of decisions being made. To be organized and facilitated in a way that encourages participation, that is focused and participatory, and to have results shared with the community. To be clear, Council will be reviewing the report, and it is up to Council to make any decision based on recommendations received from the consulting team. Levels of public involvement during each phase of the review will be based on a combination of approaches that inform, gather input, communicate, listen, and consult to understand the opinion of the community as well as prioritize options through residents' feedback. There are no legislative requirements to engage with the community, so it's important to note that there's a collective desire and directional support from City Council, the Mayor, and City staff. So I can't emphasize this enough, and we'll keep repeating it throughout these videos and on the site and in other messaging. We're looking for your ideas, your wisdom, your insights, your thinking around why along with the what. And there are a number of ways for you to provide your input. Before getting to the how to provide your input, let me just provide some guidelines for participation and engagement in this process. I like to think that any kind of a conversation, whether that be in person, by phone, email, or online, is going to be driven by some assumptions or values that we need to hold. And these are the ones that we're looking to uphold through the public engagement process. We really do believe that everyone has wisdom, and that we need everyone's wisdom for the wisest results. People listening into these videos, reading the reports, asking questions online, through our social media channels, phoning or emailing the city or the project team, are residents of Brantford, and it is that experience that we want to and need to hear. It's important to also know that it doesn't mean that your every idea will be implemented. Rather, everyone's ideas and comments will be considered and read, and they will form part of that bigger picture. So that principle of the whole being greater than just the sum of its parts means that everybody has a piece of the puzzle. So please share it. Even if you're a little bit shy or in these kinds of discussions and you feel uncomfortable, please just email us, talk to us, get it out there, and we all may come away with a new nugget of gold that influences our thinking. Another principle is that there's no wrong answers or absolutes, if you will. As part of a public conversation, we ask that you set aside the concept of yours and others and rightness and wrongness and simply just get your ideas out there. No one needs to argue, win, or lose. And if you've got questions, ask. There are no dumb questions, and chances are if you're thinking of a question, somebody else is thinking about it too. So please don't be shy and seek clarification. It's important to understand also that disrespectful or rude comments will be removed and will not be shared. So please, let's keep it clean, folks, and keep it respectful, and that way we can actually respond to it. Since you're currently logged into the review site, LetsTalkBrantford.ca, if you have any questions or comments or want to discuss anything as part of this public engagement process, you can just put it in to the questions tool on this project site and someone will be responding. We will be answering to questions on this site. We will also be putting together some short videos that will be released next week, the last week of the consultation, if we're getting a number of questions in the same area or anything that needs additional clarification. As well, navigate to the project page heading, Who's Listening? There's a contact point for people at the city's office where you may want to send an email. The project manager, Ferg Watson, is on there. You can ask whatever you need about this project. There's also a conversation forum set up that you may want to join in on this hub. Feel free to email the clerk at clerks@brantford.ca. You can mail a good old-fashioned letter to City Hall, or you can call the city if you have any questions or would like additional information or assistance. Monday through Friday between 8:30 to 4:30 at 519-759-4150. And customer service representative can either answer your questions, give you a hand in completing the survey, or help to direct your call. The city also monitors its social media channels, so you can message or add comments for response in one of those channels. And the most important page for you to navigate to on this LetsTalkBrantford.ca page is the survey, and we really want you to click on that to complete it. And if you want to keep an eye on the project timing, there is a listing of key dates for the entire review, and note that there will also be a public engagement phase during Ward Boundary Review Phase 2 that you may want to register for. Again, in closing, any form of input is welcome. All of your input will be gathered without attribution from this consultation period that is running through to the 31st of this month. And it will come out in the form of a report that will be formulated to Council in March 2021 for their consideration. Your wisdom and insight here at this stage of the larger project informs thinking about ward changes or recommendations around the ward boundaries, and there'll be another round of consultations early 2021. So please tell your neighbors, tell your friends and family, and help get everybody involved. Head on over to the other videos or other information resources on this site from the consulting team, who will describe in more detail the scope of the project, timing, and then straight into the big questions. At any point, ask any questions if you need clarification, and please make sure you complete the survey.